Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to the Live Inspired podcast, Monday Morning Moments with John O'Leary. I record these each week so you and I can begin our weeks and indeed our days lit up on fire and in awe with a bit of inspiration. Speaking of inspiration, I received a question at an event just last month, and it went like this. So, why did you not go to Jack Buck's funeral? Well, this was the very first question asked during a Q&A after speaking in New Jersey. I had bought a little bit of time by responding, well, not exactly the softball opener I was hoping for. The audience laughed awkwardly. I smiled nervously and then answered honestly because I did not think that I belonged there. My friends, for those of you who may not know Jack Buck, he was the most beloved broadcaster, I think, in sports history. He was the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. He was a Hall of Famer. He is a national celebrity. He's baseball royalty. But to me, Jack was far more than just that stuff. For me, he was perhaps the reason that I survived. The very first evening I was burned, Jack Buck visited me in the hospital at Mercy. I'll never forget his words. Kid, you are going to live. And when you get out of here, we are going to celebrate. We'll call it John O'Leary Day at the ballpark. Then there came a long pause before Jack Buck added, keep fighting. Even after Jack Buck left that day and was told on the way out that little John was not going to survive, Jack Buck kept coming back. Once I was home from the hospital, Jack taught me how to write again by sending me autographed baseballs that required handwritten thank you notes in return. 60 baseballs arrived at my house that summer. 60 thank you notes were sent by a little boy with no fingers. A decade later, at my college graduation, he gifted me his Hall of Fame crystal baseball and again changed the trajectory of my life. And yet, as Jack Buck spent his final 5 months of his own life suffering in a hospital bed with Parkinson's disease and cancer, I never visited. Not because I did not care and not because I was busy. Trust me, I was not busy. Instead, I simply accepted the lie so many of us choose to believe. I can't make a difference. I'm not that important. I'm not a big deal. Somebody else, somebody more important, I'm sure, will show up today. Well, then came the funeral. Pulling into the parking lot and seeing celebrities and athletes and broadcasters and the owners of the St. Louis Cardinals and Jack Buck's lifelong friends and family walking toward and then ultimately into church, I convinced myself again of the lie, I don't belong. I don't belong here. So, sitting in my old car in my cheap suit, I waited for the final guest to enter the church. Then I loosened my tie. I turned the car back on, put it into reverse, and then drove away. To this day, it remains one of the great regrets of my life. But strangely, it also became one of the great lessons of my life. Because somewhere in the heartbreak that followed, I finally realized this truth, my friends. Some of us need to hear it today. We are not called to show up because we are important. We are important when we choose to show up for others. A visit, a note, a hug, an apology, a thank you. The simple gift of ordinary presence can change lives. Too many beautiful moments in life are missed because we assume someone wiser or someone richer or someone more connected or someone more spiritual or someone more capable should go in our place. But my friends, listen to me, please. It's a lie. It's a lie. You are that person. Your presence matters more than you may even realize. And now, this moment, today, is the time. Because it turns out the people we remember most in our life are rarely the most impressive people in the room. Instead, they're simply the ones who had the audacity and the love to show up. I want to thank you today, my friends, for showing up, for being part of our Live Inspired podcast family, and for recognizing what I did not know, but I do now. You ready for it? That your life is a precious, priceless gift. And that ultimately you and I have one job. It is simply to say yes to being used for good. So on this day, be bold enough when the opportunity presents itself to say yes to being used for good. It will change not only the life of the one you are about to serve, but of the one doing the serving in the first place. So family, for this time and until next time, my name is John O'Leary, and today is your day. Live with your soul on fire.